Hi folks, this is Rick again. I'm getting ready to button this Kenwood R5000 up. It's going to go to a new home, and I'm making a little video about some things I've learned while tinkering on these radios. If you ever take one of these apart and you get back there into those control boards and keyboards and stuff like that, and you put it back together, and all of a sudden your busy light and your notch light don't work, but the radio works just fine, the notch works, everything's working. It's just that those two lights are out. I spent some time before I opened up the radio, that's this one here, to figure out what could be causing the problem. And going through the terminal functions, you get down here to the IF board, and if I can hold this steady for you, you can look in your own prints. Right there, terminal connector 4, see that? Notch light, busy light, both of them on the same cable. So let's look at the board real quick. The board schematic. So here's the board schematic. And here that cable is right here, coming out of the this part of the circuitry of the IF board, and goes off. So let's see where that goes. Back over here to the radio. Here's terminal 4 down here in the corner. Pardon me. It's just up from the audio section. So here's connector 4, a little 2-wire cable, and if you tug on this, you'll find out that it comes right here. See it moving? Comes right here and disappears behind the shield. And there's a little 2-pin connector that plugs into the board, and you've either pinched the cable, cut the cable, or popped that connector off the board, putting all this back together and didn't notice it. I've had that happen to me. It just happens. So if you come up with these problems, this can be an easy fix. It's what back in the day we used to call them lessons learned. Here's another one for you. You noticed the filter's gone. I took my upgrade filters off of here and moved them over to that radio, and went to put that radio back together, and all of a sudden it came up with the infamous dot problem on the display. And I went, oh darn. So because of my trimmers and stuff, I had to wait a day or two to go back into the radio. And what I found was almost like what you see right here. The connector, it was this connector right here, and it was loose. It was loose. It just pushing all this stuff around, getting it to line up, get the screws back in, it came loose. So I plugged that back in, and my dot problem instantly went away, and I was very happy. Now, I pulled the connector back out, and I cleaned it. Now, like I said, back in the day, I remember when we worked on the all-gat wire wrap panels with the edge connectors that were gold and silver, and you used to have to clean them every once in a while because they'd oxidize. So we used to do this thing we called pink pearl. We have pink erasers like this, and they used to say pink pearl on it, and we'd take the eraser and literally clean the connectors with it. We'd sit there and clean the edge connector of the card. We'd sit there and rub it back and forth. And of course, the eraser would leave little crumbs and stuff behind, but you're going to clean it off anyway. So I pink pearled the connector and put it all back together and made sure it was good and tight. And the radio's been working. If I can get this back in there. There it is. And the radio's been working fine ever since. I got to put this one back in too. But anyway, there's two quick tips on things I found messing with these radios: the missing display lights and a possible easy fix for the dot problem. I know what people want to do. Oh, I got the bottom cover on. Is go into that bottom board, pull the shield off of that, and start digging that epoxy stuff out of it. And that may not be necessary. It could be something easy. So this is Rick just sharing some things I've learned over a period of time messing with these radios. Thanks for watching, and be careful. Bye now.